Thank you very much, and thank you very much for the welcome and the invitation. I'm delighted to be here today. And for me, this is incredibly exciting. This is an exciting time. I think that whilst we've all had difficulties with the incredible challenges we faced, I think now is the time that we can be hopeful for our future. And we've heard a lot about the sufficiency economy, but I think we also have to make sure that it's sustainable, because we all want a cleaner world. We all want a world where we know that our consumption isn't going to impact the environment, and that we can make a contribution, that we can change the planet, and that we can do that for the better. So let me tell you a little bit about the company that I work for. My name is Colm Jordan. I work on sustainability, and I work with Indorama Ventures. Indorama Ventures is incredibly proud to be a Thai-based company and started in Thailand and is expanding in Thailand. And today, there are 24,000 colleagues working with me in 125 factories in 33 countries, all starting out from a strong base in Thailand. So whether it's the United States, Europe, or Asia, all of those companies report to a proud Thai company. And what do we do? Well, we make PET. And PET has a scientific name, which I'm not going to give you because it's very boring. But what I would say to you is that PET is a special type of plastic, and it's used to make beverage bottles, like water bottles or like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or bottles that you would see every day. So if you're watching this now and you're sitting at your desk or watching on your tablet or phone, and you have beside you a PET bottle, the chances are that the company that I work for made that plastic. But more importantly, the company that I work for wants to recycle that plastic. It wants to take that bottle and turn it into a new one, and to make sure that we have the circular economy. So let's talk a little bit about what we do in Indorama Ventures. So passionate as we are about the circular economy, about making sure that our contribution to the world is not only delivering for people and delivering for prosperity, but is also delivering for the planet. We have an active education program, and we've already educated about 30,000 people. And what are we educating them about? Well, we're talking to communities, we're talking to people, we're talking to schools about what they can do to prevent waste getting into the environment. So we educate them about the materials and how they can be recycled or reused or reduced. And we teach them how they can use their waste management system. Because we as a company cannot recycle something unless we get it back. So we need people to use their waste management systems, to put their bottle for recycling, to send it for recycling, and to make sure that the circular economy continues to go round and round. Because if we are to be self-sufficient, if we are to be sustainable, all of us have to play our part. And that is why it isn't just about education systems, incredibly powerful though they are. It isn't just about governments. It isn't just about the individuals. It isn't about business. It is about all of us coming together with a shared goal to make sure that we reduce waste and we protect our planet. So with our education program, we spread this message, and I encourage the teachers here today to look at indoramaventures.net to look for some of our education materials that you see on screen here. And as well as that, we have a global goal, and we now are hoping to educate more than 1 million people between now and 2030. And this incredible ambition is supported by a strong team of Thai people based in Bangkok who are working night and day to see how we can develop education programs that will deliver a real and practical difference to people's lives. So what can people learn when they're doing this? And this is something that I think that none of you would know before this talk, but everyone will remember after they hear it. Well, one of the things that we talk about is the different types of plastic that is out there and how they can be recycled. So if you remember nothing from what I have to say here today, please just remember different plastics, and each of them has a different quality and characteristic. So how do you know what is the plastic in your hand? Well, there are these symbols here that you can see on the screen that tell you what type of plastic it is, and they're technical, sciencey. The type of plastic that we produce is called PET. It is incredibly recyclable. So about 1 out of every 2 PET bottles in the world today is recycled. And I see lots of thumbs going up, but let me just ask you this question. Do you think in Asia that there is more than the global average of bottles being recycled or less? So if you think it's less PET bottles are recycled in Asia, put your thumbs up now. Okay, thank you for that. If you think Asia recycles more than the global average, please put your thumbs up now. Okay, I think that it is actually, I think that there was a bit of a 50-50 split with all the thumbs up, but I want you to know, and I want you to be proud, that Asia actually recycles more PET bottles than the rest of the world. So in actual fact, across Asia, the average is about 70%. So 7 out of 10 PET bottles in Asia are recycled, and that's something I think we can all be proud about. But we have to educate people to ensure that more and more are recycled, because if 7 out of 10 bottles are being recycled, then 3 out of 10 bottles are going to waste, and that is not acceptable to us. And the question then is, well, we hear a lot about plastics and we would like to know more about it, but we're concerned. Maybe we should have a glass bottle. Maybe we should have an aluminium can. Maybe we should think of alternatives to plastics. But what's important is that the more education and the more understanding we have, and that evidence-based approach that I spoke about, is going across the world. And what people are seeing is that because of the very low carbon footprint of PET bottles, that PET, once it's collected and recycled, PET can have an incredibly low impact on our planet. So if you think about it, think of the amount of energy it takes to melt glass, the amount of energy it takes to melt aluminium. And these are heavy, heavy materials. So imagine how much energy it takes a truck to drive aluminium and glass around versus how much energy it takes to transport PET bottles. So what we see is that governments, corporations, and individuals are determined to lower their carbon footprint. So if we reduce plastic or if we get rid of it altogether, we have to be cognizant also recycle it here. So when we produce it, it is sent through to the beverage bottler, and they put the beverage inside it. Then consumers get it, and what happens here is critical. Do consumers send that bottle for recycling? Do they return it and give it back to the recyclers to make it into a new bottle, to give it a second life? And that enables, once it's collected, it's given back into the recycling centres and they turn it into a new bottle. And it can be made into many things. It can be made into polyester for a t-shirt or a jacket, or it can be made into a new bottle. And this is how we power the circular economy. And this is critical to ensuring that we have an economy that is sustainable and that reaches our sufficient, provides for us sufficiently. So what are we doing as a company to make this a reality? Well, we have committed to invest $1.5 billion to expand our recycling capability, and we hope that by 2025, we will recycle 50 billion bottles per year. So think about 50 billion bottles. Between 2011 and 2020, we recycled 50 billion bottles in that decade. And we're going to increase the amount of recycling plants that we have so that we will recycle 50 billion bottles each year. So this time last year, I was very proud and happy to be in Manila and the Philippines, and hello to all my friends there. I always enjoy my time there. And we started a new factory with the Coca-Cola company called Pet Value. This will recycle prospect for us. But all of this is must have a framework and an ideology behind it. And Indorama as a company is committed to the SDGs and the Sustainable Development Goals. And through our recycling and circular activity, through reducing our carbon footprint, through environmental stewardship and ensuring that nothing goes to waste, by making sure that our staff and our communities have a health and safety work environment and community, by looking at our corporate social responsibility and collaborating with others, we are showing our commitment not just to a brighter and better future for us all, but also for a sustainable future. Thank you very much.